In the headlines, wreckage of Kwara boat removed as Investigation Bureau confirms 106 dead and 144 rescued alive. Tension in Kano as demolition notice is served on house owners. President Tinubu meets former APC chairman and the 14th Emir of Kano in Asorok. On the foreign scene, explosion rocks Kiev as African Peace Mission visits Ukraine. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I'm Abdullahi Ahmed. We start the news update in Kwara, where 4 days after the boat mishap in Eboti community in Patigi local government area of the state, the boat wreckage has finally been removed. Additional manpower facilitated the rescue exercise, which took about 4 hours to complete. The report.
Ebu community is about 25 minutes to Egboti community, where the unfortunate incident happens, with over 144 people reportedly rescued after 50 dead bodies were recovered. No access road linking the two communities. Crossing the river is the only option for the communities around here. Efforts to remove the boat wreckage by both Egboti and Ebu began Thursday evening. The initial two boats hired for the task could not achieve results as the wreckage underwater was overwhelming. The team has no other option than to wait for another 2 hours to hire and get additional 2 boats for the exercise. Finally, with the help of additional 47 able-bodied men, they pulled out the wreckage. This man who survived the accident lost a wife and 2 children.
So we just try. I tell the people, may everybody not jump. May they jump first. After we see her say the children they go down, we tell them say some people where they swim, may they jump. May they jump. So that they jump. Children they go down. The children they go down. After they go down, I can't jump with one of my son. We jump, we suffer.
A member of the rescue team, Muhammad Shoaib, says provision of life jackets and proper monitoring of passengers should save the people. So, and illiterate of, because predominantly they are farmers and some illiterate of the people, maybe by not knowing the danger of the incident when it was unfortunate. So, but the major factor is if there will be an assistance from government by providing life jackets to the riverine areas, creating some task force that may regulate the number of loads or people carried during the journey. I think it may likely minimize this kind of incidents. This tree is what could be described as savior of some survivors, as they clinged to it until help came. The people of the 4 villages affected have resigned to fate and hoping for the federal government's intervention to guard against future occurrences.
In Kano, tension is brewing in Salanta area, where residents have accused the State Urban Planning and Development Agency of serving them illegal demolition notices. This is coming as one person has been confirmed dead after the demolished Daula Hotel collapsed on scavengers. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports.
While the demolition exercise continues across the state, residents of Salanta area of Kano metropolis are however worried after the State Urban Planning and Development Authority sent them demolition notice. They said the notice is an attempt to demolish their houses they have legally acquired.
Yesterday, we found out some Kanubda officials painting our houses and their plots that we should remove these structures. So we went to see the MD at the MD Kanubda to find out what is actually happening. so we couldn't see him. But we talked with one of the directors there. He told us that this is just order from the above.
This estate was carved out of the main campus of the Kano State Polytechnic, but the owners say they legally obtained the properties from the immediate past administration of Abdullahi Ganduje. For now, the state government has notified these people to remove all their properties before the eventual demolition. However, the owners are calling on government to review the plan in the interest of justice. We are not the first allotee. We bought it from the people who initially got the land, and we paid all the necessary dues. In fact, we went to Kanubda, we paid their money, we paid the state government on. Everything has been paid, and we've done it in accordance with the law. So our land is legally obtained, and we have already built our houses here. We are not politicians. We are businessmen, and we purchase this land from people, not even directly from government. We have put our structures, we spend a lot of money, and now they are asking us to remove. We are asking government to look into this situation before it goes out of hand. In the meantime, police have advised people to stay away from site of demolished buildings in the state.
The state government have not declared this place a place where anybody can come and take anything. That was why, in the course of our patrols, we were able to arrest a number of suspects, up to 106.
Hundreds of people were said to have been scavenging when some part of the building collapsed, killing one person on the spot, injuring 3 others, and several others trapped.
The Executive Governor, Engineer Abba Kabir Yusuf, has already directed the Police Commissioner to take care of the security situation on the sites because of the unsafety nature of it. So the police are doing their best, and apparently we don't know how even these scavengers sneak into the site.
This building is part of the structures demolished by the state recently as part of efforts to recover government properties believed to have been sold illegally by the immediate past administration of Abdullahi Ganduje. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
Now, away from the Kano demolition controversy, the Eastwal pioneering interim national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Bisi Akonde, has called on Nigerians to expect good governance and rejigging of the ruling party from the new administration. He fielded questions from State House correspondents after meeting with President Bola Tinubu at the Aso Rock Villa in Abuja. Asked to assess the administration after taking some critical decisions in a few days, the former governor says it is too early to assess, but will advise the president whenever the need arises.
Of our party, the APC, and the re-establishing good governance in Nigeria. And it will go on record that APC brings good governance to Nigeria.
President Bola Tinubu has also met with the Senate President Godswill Akpabio at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, the nation's capital. This is coming barely 48 hours after the duo earlier met at the seat of power, hours after Akpabio's emergence as Senate President.
The President has already started. Ours is to back him and to support his actions for the betterment of the country. So for now, the Parliament on resumption will also lend our voice to what we have seen so far. He has taken the right steps. The stock market is rising, and a lot of people are very excited with the steps he has taken so far, and we are also very happy.
Now, the 14th Emir of Kano, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi II, also paid a visit to President Tinubu at the villa on Thursday. The former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria was in the villa 7 days after the president suspended his successor at the Apex Bank, Mr. Godwin Emefiele. This is Sanusi's first meeting with President Tinubu after his inauguration on May 29th.
The president and I are old friends. He's my brother. We've been friends since his first term as governor of Lagos State when I was a banker. And I have not seen him since the elections. I wanted to give him time to settle down. So the first reason was to come and congratulate him formally. But also I wear many caps. I wear the cap of an economist. So I came to thank him for the steps he has taken to put this economy on course. As you know, many of the issues that we have been talking about, the subsidy that has caused a hemorrhage on the fiscus, the multiple exchange rate regimes, and so on. These are issues that I have personally been talking about for a long time. And I'm happy that on his very first day, he has addressed these issues and the markets are happy. And it is important when the government does the right thing for us to give them feedback. It's not always when they do a wrong thing that you complain. So he has started on such a strong footing as far as the economy is concerned that we have to come and support and encourage that we continue along that path and be advocates for the policies he has pursued.
Now, the immediate past Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, has said that he is not on the run over allegations of corruption. President Bola Tinubu suspended the chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdurrashid Bawa, over his conduct while in office. Bawa was nominated by the former minister, Abubakar Malami. There have been reports that in a bid to evade arrest and investigation, Malami has left the country. Malami has appeared before the House of Representatives Committee over alleged loss of over $2.4 billion in revenue from the illegal sale of 48 million barrels of crude oil export in 2015, including all crude oil exports and sales by Nigeria from 2014 to date. Reports indicate that the EFCC and the DSS have extended an invitation to Malami. However, he exclusively told Daily Trust that he was not invited by the EFCC or any other anti-corruption agency. Malami says he is ready for any invitation and will be attending a wedding party in Kano on Saturday. In other news, the police in Niger State have arrested a 26-year-old Nuhu Muhammad and Sani Usman, 22 years of age, of Izom town in Gurara local government area of Niger State for allegedly criminal conspiracy and killing of 14-year-old school student identified as Ubaida Surajo. The State Command's Public Relations Officer Wasiu Abiodun in a statement says the young girl was killed at her parents' residence when her mother was away at Izom Market. Abiodun says one of the suspects, Nuhu, who was a tenant in the same household, confessed during police interrogation that in the early hours of the same date, the deceased mother accused him of stealing her 90,000 naira. He said the accusation got him angry and he decided to kill her daughter. He said the suspect explained that he invited his friend Sani to the house to assist him as they both attacked the girl when she returned from school and strangled her to death. Very unfortunate development there. A Kaduna State High Court has restrained the Nigerian Army from preventing farmers in the 13 communities around the Jaji military cantonment to access their farmlands. Presiding Judge Justice Hanatu Balogun gave the order after hearing the plaintiff's witness on plans by the military to construct perimeter fences that will deny farmers access to their farmlands. Here's Bello Musa with the rest of the story.
Explaining what transpired in the court, counsel to the plaintiff, Kemi Livingston, accused the army for disobeying court order.
This is a matter against the Nigerian army, and the courts had given order that the army should stop the construction of a fence wall they are conducting around the Jaji barrack. Hence, the subject matter is in court. The army refused to obey that court order. They continue with the fencing, and they block the entire plaintiff's access to their farmland and their villages and their community during the pendency of the case. So a contempt proceedings was filed against the Army Architecture in Kaduna, that is the GOC-1 Div, the General Officer Commanding, and some senior officers.
The defense counsel, Ali Omachi, said all the accusations against the Nigerian army were mere allegations.
It was just the court restating its earlier order on all the parties to maintain status quo, and that more particularly for the plaintiffs to be allowed access to their farm, to their farmland, which is just to us is just a mere allegation in the sense that my clients have not prevented any of them from plaintiffs from having access to their farmland. I've not confirmed that for my client, but from the feelers I got from the authorities that I'm in communication with at the Jaji headquarters, no such thing happened, in the sense that none of the plaintiffs was hindered, prevented, or not allowed to have access to their farmland.
The court orders the stoppage of construction of perimeter fence around the Jaji military cantonment and adjourned the matter to July 10 for continuation of hearing. Bella Musa, Trust TV News, Kaduna.
You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up ahead, we take a look at legal rights of tenants in Nigeria. More news after the break. Join us again. There's a mountain in Biliri town that truly reflects a lost civilization. Discover the lost story of ancient humans and the existence of giants whose stories have long been forgotten.
They are giants, and because they are giants, it is possible that they did this work.
Could this be proof that giants lived long before now?
These columnar joints formed long before even human existence scientifically.
And did they leave a mark to show their existence?
It is beyond human beings' formation.
Don't miss out as we explore the mystery rock shrouded in tales of ancient lore and lost civilization.
That's great.
Welcome back to the news update, and thank you for staying with us. First, a recap of our top stories at this hour. Wreckage of Kwara boat mishap removed as Investigation Bureau confirms 106 dead, and 144 rescued. Tension in Kano as demolition notice is served on house owners. Now, emotions ran high as family and friends of the late Raymond Dokpesi gather in Lagos to celebrate his life on earth through service of songs while paying tribute to the media mogul. Here's the report.
Late Chief Raymond Dokpesi, a marine transport engineer and a founder of Dar Communications, owners of the first private radio station, Ray Power, and private television, Africa Independent Television, AIT, died on the 29th of May at the age of 71. Paying tributes to the man, the chief executive of Channels Television, John Momo, said, late Dokpesi was an inspiration to those who ruled the world. A preacher and a pastor, Siju Oluyomade, in his message described him as a Christian pilgrim who lived a rightful life.
Let us embrace the spirit of innovation, his unwavering pursuit of excellence, and his unwavering commitment to making a positive impact on the world. May his extraordinary achievements continue to inspire future generations to reach for the stars and leave an indelible mark on the world.
Purpose and make sure that you make heaven. Make an impact in this life, but have a heaven-bound focus. because that's the end of man.
Family members and associates of the late Dokpesi also paid glowing tributes.
The source of motivation and the source of encouragement. He was a source of encouragement to all of us, his children, and always motivating us. A bit of tough love, because he wouldn't tolerate anything mediocre. He wanted excellence from us.
To be good. Because when you are nice, all you are doing is that you are writing your own history. So much has been said and heard about Dr. Dokpesi. He was just an incredible personality. Extremely intelligent, brilliant, relentless, and committed individual.
Big loss. We're missing a father, a leader, the one that led us into an uncharted territory and made us to conquer that territory.
Clerics at the service reminded members of his family and friends that one must live a rightful life, as people are all pilgrims on earth and everyone will be called home one after the other.
Right, finding a decent accommodation is often difficult, but living in Abuja in a rented apartment is even more difficult, as house owners called landlords can decide to sell the property with valid and subsistent tenancy. In this report, Zainab Kara examines how tenants exercise their legal rights.
House owners have the legal right to rent out a property to a tenant for an agreed period. The landlord also has the right to set rules and regulations that guide the conduct of the tenant. The tenants, however, have some legal rights that the house owners is expected to respect. For instance, the tenant has the right of first refusal if the house wants to sell the property. This kind of rights are often observed in the breach. A legal practitioner, Akinsanya Mutiu, said that though the house owners have limitations with regards to rights over property with violent tenancy,
the law is particularly protective of the tenants because of the high-handedness of landlords. But then, if tenants also sign agreements, they must also know what they are signing. Because when you enter into an agreement with your landlord, some of those things that the tenant should enjoy by default, the landlord can decide to take it away by agreement.
The lawyer said it is legally binding on house owners to provide tenants with information pertaining to the property so rented.
At the beginning of the relationship, there's always an agreement, and that agreement will spell out how they will maintain that relationship going forward. So most standard tenancy agreements will usually have clauses providing on how rents can be increased, at what time they should be increased, so that it is not just that the landlord just wakes up overnight and then increases the rent.
Some tenants say most house owners increase tenancy rates without prior notice, a situation they describe as exploitative.
Where I stay now, I practically fix that house every year, which is part of the landlord's duty to fix his house because I pay him rent for it. But I end up fixing the house. Even my water, I was the one that even supplied water in my house. So you see, I don't think such law, that law, tenancy law, is really active in this country.
So you don't just knock on, say, your door because it's your house, and meet the occupant of that house and like we're increasing your rent just like that. Yeah, things are not that like the economy is not that good, but the money too is not that available for the masses for you just to be increasing the rent like that. Tenancy
agreement is required especially to define the rights of the tenant and the landlord, but often do not sign these agreements. Zainab Kara, Trust TV News, Abuja.
The Acting Controller General, Nigeria Immigration Service, Caroline Adepoju, on Friday announced a state of emergency on passport issues in the country. Adepoju said this during her working visit to Lagos, that there was an urgent need to address the challenges faced by Nigerians in obtaining international passports. A statement by the Service Public Relations Officer, Tony Akuneme, revealed that the acting CGI inaugurated a state-of-the-art visa-on-arrival lounge at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. The NIS boss used the event to announce a comprehensive plan of action to tackle the issues effectively. She says that the facility demonstrated the NIS's commitment to improving the overall travel experience for visitors entering the country. On the foreign scene, at least 2 explosions rocked Kiev on Friday, and air raid sirens blared as African leaders began a peace mission hoping to mediate between Ukraine and Russia. The African delegation, which includes leaders of South Africa, Senegal, the Comoros and Egypt, were expected to meet Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky and then hold talks with Russian President Vladimir Putin in St. Petersburg on Saturday. Mayor Vitaly Klitschko reported explosions in the central Podil district and warned that more missiles were headed towards the capital. It was not clear if those missiles were fired by Russia or by Ukrainian air defenses. The leaders had begun their visit with a trip to Bucha near Kiev, which is one of several places where Ukraine says Russia and its troops committed large-scale atrocities following their full-scale invasion in February last year. In sports, the Super Falcons captain Onome Ebi is confident that the team can reach the semi-finals of the upcoming 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. The West Africans' best achievement at the FIFA Women's World Cup was a quarter-final appearance back in 1999 by the United States of America. The 9-time African champions were eliminated in the round of 16 by Germany 4 years ago in France. The captain, who was included in the 23-woman squad unveiled by head coach Randy Waldrum on Friday, is adamant that the Super Falcons make it to the last 4 this time around. The Falcons will face Australia, Canada and the Republic of Ireland in Group B. The team will arrive in Australia on Tuesday, July 4th for a 15-day final camping program before the finals begin on July 20th. And that's the size of our package at this hour. Many thanks for your time. Do not forget to follow us across our social media platforms on Facebook and on Instagram, and you can join our live stream on YouTube. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for watching.